We've come up with this idea, this concept. It's called going solo, and the whole idea is to just go out there and explore the outdoors and see what there is around us, and just take advantage of what you have that's close to you, what's local. In South East Queensland, where we've got the beautiful ocean, we've got all these rivers, we've got these islands, there's hills to go dirt bike riding in just up the road. How do you mix that all in one? So I figured if I get my dirt bike and I mount it on top of my tinny, launch off the mainland and go off to an island, I can enjoy a day's riding, I can enjoy a day's, or at least one day's boating, you know, back and forth. And what a treat. So this is how the whole adventure started, looking for the correct tinny. It had to be man enough to put a dirt bike in with the extra fuel and food in order to do a decent seaward crossing. It had to be stable in the water. It had to be safe. It had to manage a decent load. So after doing a bit of homework and scratching around on the net, I figured out that 4.2 Quintrex tinny would be just the thing I need, and that's what I was searching for. When it came to looking for an outboard motor, it had to be Yamaha, because all my toys are Yamahas. I stick with Yamaha because they're reliable and they perform well and all the rest of it. So tinny had to be the right length, and it had to have a Yamaha. It had to be a 3-cylinder, 2-stroke. Yeah, we found one online down in Wamiran, so we jump in the van, we shoot down there and we go and have a look, and man, it just ticks all the boxes. Hooked it up behind the truck and brought it home. One guy that I had to turn to when it came to looking for stickers for the tinny was Judd at Uber Motor. He's been a star on looking after me in the past, so we went down to Uber Motor. I took him this tinny, I took him this concept of what I want to do. He looked at me a bit strange, and then he said, well, let's see what we can do. So I had a few ideas. I needed a picture of a bark, I needed a 4B on the tinny, maybe something to do with a bit of fishing and waves and surf and stuff. So I threw this all at Judd, and he came up with a few ideas back and forth, and eventually, in no time at all, he was putting the vinyl straight down on the side of the hull. So we had all the gear loaded in the tinny. It was time to test the tinny, test the trailer with all the gear on. So we found a nice, gnarly off-road section to get all the way down to the Maruchi River, and off we went. So it was our debut putting the bike on the boat in the water, and man, out of all the excitement I forgot to I unlatched the boat prematurely, and as I backed into the drink, there went my tinny, there went my bike, there went my everything, and I had to go and swim after it. Joy at the boat ramp. You can learn from this. Our first initial test with the bike on the boat seemed favourable. However, I noticed that the front of the boat was a little bit heavy, so we had to adjust the trim tab on the back of the outboard to try and lift the nose of the boat out of the water. and as soon as we did that, it handled nice. It was up in the plane really well. It cornered and everything really smooth. On the smooth water, the tinny flat out taps out at about 42-43 kilometers an hour. So our initial plan with going solar was to put the tinny in the water at Golden Beach in Calandra. We were going to go all the way down the Pemberstone Passage, take a left turn and head straight across to Moreton Island. We were going to hit the beach on Moreton Island, set up camp and go for a day's ride. However, after going through this whole exercise of buying the tinny and getting the stickers and all the rest of it, we realised that no dirt bikes are in fact allowed on Moreton Island, and they've been banned there for quite a few years. So it was back to the drawing board, doing a bit of head scratching, and we came up with Fraser. Why Fraser? Not only it is a World Heritage listed site, but it's the biggest sand island in the world. Sand island, sand dunes, plenty tracks, plenty riding. It was a done deal. Servo just outside of Maryborough, taking on fuel, taking on food, got a bit of ice, a few last minute checks, Hervey Bay in the next sort of hour or so, and then we're good to go. On any trip, sustenance. This is our ice box. It's also the hull, it's also the anchor compartment. Last time I backed up to the water, and when I looked in the mirror the thing had floated off and I had to go swim after it, so far we're doing well. Here we are at Urangan, we just got the tinny in the water. So far so good, it's still floating and she seems pretty almost level. So now it's a 10-kilometer crossing across to Moon Point on Fraser, and then we're going to hug the coast up to Warreley Creek and set up camp. So let's see how it goes. The weather doesn't look too bad, a little bit of a breeze blowing, which is great. Come along, because we're going solo. Lying if I said it was super stable, but it just nosedives into every single little swell, every little wave. big swell, big wind. We went to the first creek, it was blind, we couldn't get up there. We went to the second creek 5 k's further down, couldn't get up there. Our last resort was here with Tumba, another 18 k's further from what we originally planned. We consumed half our fuel to get here, which is good, because that means we've got the other half to get back. Man, glad we're here. It was bumpy, it was cold, it was wet. I took a big wave over the front there and I had to get the little bilge pump running to pump all the water out. Yeah, what a treat. Hey, what a treat. So we've arrived up here at Butumba and we believe that there might even be hot showers and maybe even a toilet. And what a treat that would be, wouldn't it? Butumba camping area toilets closed until the 30th of June. Turns out today's the 30th of June. Should we go give them a bomb?
We're cooking marshmallows on an open fire. I couldn't get much higher. Stars, guitars, friends and fire. We got everything we desire. Nowhere I'd rather be, chilling out, watching nature's TV. Nowhere I'd rather be, loved up and cozy, chilling out, watching nature's TV.
I woke up this morning and made myself a decent bacon and egg sandwich, which went down an absolute treat after quite a cold night here on the island. Came out to check on the tinny, and you can see she's high and dry, so we won't be going anywhere this morning on the tinny, that's for sure. Some of those swells yesterday, it was like trying to balance a dinner plate on a marble. It was touch and go. There was another time when I went down a swell like this and the boat broached because it's quite heavily loaded, and I thought, oh dear, here we go, and I rolled on the gas and the prop was out of the water, just went I thought, oh shit, and I sort of grabbed for my GPS. I thought, here we go, sunshine, but we had to tell the tale, we pulled it off. There we go, so that's spare fuel for the outboard, and I'll keep this right in the back here. Man, this thing has just been great. Awesome little motor, that 3-cylinder 2-stroke, yeah, I'm really chuffed with that. Good on fuel, and she's got plenty of grunt. So we'll just change tanks over now while it's high and dry, so I can walk around it and get access to everything, and then I'll just pop it all back in together for our trip home tomorrow if all goes well. Vehicle tag. You can only operate a motor vehicle on Fraser if you've got your tag, your license, or your beach permit. It's important you stick to the rules. Don't ride on the sand dunes. Don't go make your own trails, you know, just stick to the roads, because Man, with this tag they've got your name, your number, your address, where you come from, how long you'll be here for. They've got all that information, so if you don't stick to the rules, they'll be at home waiting for you before you get home. Should have done this yesterday, but I just want to try and get all the salt off here. Before I put the bike on the tinny, I covered it with the whole can at WD-40 just to prevent any corrosion on the nuts and the bolts and try and keep it looking pretty respectable. So I'm just trying to wash all the saltwater spray off from yesterday. The whole thing looks like a bit of a salty biscuit at the moment. Man, he's so fortunate. It's a World Heritage Site. Absolutely fantastic to be able to combine dirt bikes and boats and the beach and camping, all these good things into one. Man, there's very few places in the world you can do that. And it's directly slap bang in the middle of winter. Not bad. The sea life is amazing. We've seen so much. We've seen dolphins and whales and sea snakes and turtles, and last night when we were out in the tinny in the bay we saw all sorts of fish jumping, so much activity. Before the trip, we always service the motor, service the boat, check everything is good and sound, and actually the bike, you were put a fresh load of oil in there. So I dumped the old oil out, and the kids are running around and they're under my feet and all the rest of it, and I get distracted and I don't end up tightening the sump bolt that holds the oil in. Man, halfway through the trails, the bike starts making a bit of a noise, and I think, oh, you know, we'll press on. And then the noise got more intense, and then the noise changed, and I thought, shucks, there's something wrong here. Let me just stop and check it out. And as I looked down, an engine oil nuts come out. Shit, that's a problem. I don't have any engine oil here. I'm gonna have to go into that awkward township. I just heard it now. It made a funny noise, so I stopped. There's the flipping oil dripping on the floor. Well, firstly I need a bolt to put in there, and then I need to get some new engine oil. So the engine oil sump plug has fallen out, and the bike started making a funny noise, so I stopped and looked over and I saw the nut was missing. So I just really hope I've got a nut that fits that hole. Maybe the bolt that holds the seat in will fit. And this was not planned. Oh, you beauty! Cha-ching! One seat bolt. Now we needed some oil. I'm going to go down there. I believe there's a track down there going back to Orchid Beach. And when I stop that car, jump in. I need some money and go get some oil. That's about a 4K walk. So if I can catch that car that I can hear just over the hill, I might be back in time. Might be back a bit sooner. I go running down the hill here, and I just missed another bloke with his tinny, and I was walking, and then another guy drove past and he wasn't interested in helping. And then this other family with all their kids and stuff, they allowed me to jump in the back of their car. So man, we got some oil. Those German backpackers were good enough to bring me back. So my German dialect is not very good. It's all from dodgy movies. I just hope I haven't damaged this motor. I'll pull that bolt back out again and just clean around the thread and stuff. That's a pleasure, eh? These guys make a motorbike. They make everything interchangeable. So much easier to work on. You don't need any fancy spanners or tools, anything. It's all pretty common stuff. Okay, if this motor's ticket, then we're going to be struggling. I'm just trying to clean around that cap before I take it off with this WD-40. The little cans are so handy, and when they're empty, just take the can and throw it in the freezer. And then once it's been there for the freezer nice and cold, just take one of the big cans out and plug the red hose between the two and press them both at the same time and fill this little bottle up again. You can use it over and over again. Pretty empty, eh? Note there's nothing. No more fancy fully synthetic engine oil. You've got to take what you're given here. And just before I came on this trip, put a new oil filter in there, and because I know the thing labours on the sand. Please baby, start up for me. Man, it's not blowing any oil. It runs without lube and damages rings and stuff. You're blowing oil all over the place. Continue with our journey.
gotta find our way. We gotta find. We've gotta find our way.
We've had a fantastic time here at Watumba Creek already. The weather's been good. We've had a great little barbecue there and it's really been fantastic. Last night as we were about to turn in, we had a group of dingoes come around, and most of the night they were scratching around our tents and things, so just to be aware that there are dingoes present in this area. So we've packed up our little tent now and a little swag, and we're just getting ready to pack the tinny. We want to pack the tinny before the tide comes all the way in, and after that it's pretty much so cross the bar and head home to Harvey Bay. Keep the campsite nice and clean for others to enjoy. It's beauty when they arrive here, so just make sure you take all your trash with you if you come here. Also keeps it up with the dingoes too.
To our soul. Connect to our soul.
Number one, kids. Never kick a big 450 with the slops on. Ever. Take me home, laddie.
Connect to this world. Connect to our world.
When you look down there, there's a little bit of white water around the bar crossing, but after that, man, I hope it's just smooth sailing all the way home. All the way home. Gliding home. The bike's back on the tinny, all our gear's back on the tinny. Push the tinny into the water, fire up the motor. Being a Yamaha, it's sweet. Get on the gas and leave the creek.
Set me free.
There was a bit of a clearing in the water, and I managed to really roll on the gas, make up some lost time. Big splash, and I thought, wow, what's that? And I did a turn and I had a look, and this was this enormous whale, tail just up in the air. It looked like a building next to me, like a tower, and it was just slapping the ocean, and I just couldn't believe my luck, man. All the way out there, you know, here I am on my little boat with my little bike, and I'm just blessed to see this absolute fascinating beast of the ocean flapping its tail, almost as if to say, good luck on your journey, you know?
Set me free.
Man, what a fantastic trip that was. We left Watumba Creek at about 9 o'clock this morning. As we pulled out of the creek, there was a bit of a chop, and we were stuck in some heavy conditions for probably an hour or so. we tucked up onto the inside of the island. We got a good speed going. Did about 40 kilometers an hour for a while, and passed the strait, and here we are back home. Back home at Harvey Bay. We saw some whales and turtles, and man, it was fantastic. Strongly recommended. If you got a tinny, you got a bike, all you need is the time, and you've got to make it happen.
To open up love, to set me free. Love set us all free. Love set us all free.
Okay, it's rolling.
Is this that porn shoot? I'm gonna go have an exorcism. I'm gonna go get rid of this demon. And there we go, we're back out to sea. We got about 18 k's down the road. Yeah, there's a big paved motorway off there, guys. Don't believe this